Amber Heard's career is officially over. There's no backing out. There's no denying it. Amber Heard's career is over. We don't know about Johnny Depp's yet. Maybe his career will have revitalization. Maybe there's going to be a big redemption for Johnny Depp. But Amber Heard's career is long gone and over. And I'm going to have a presentation here on my Google Docs telling you guys on the things that to me are the main things that have ruined her career. She is no longer going to be in these big blockbuster movies. She's no longer going to be in anything. I mean, it's not like she ever was, but Aquaman was, of course, her first major hit. But again, this is going to be a serious video. I've actually held back for 2 entire years of doing my YouTube channel. I've never spoken about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. I have remained quiet, calm, and collective, and I've told people that I would only make a video unless we had the court all done and over with, because I wanted to wait for all the official information to come out publicly, because I don't want to say something that I'll regret. Like, I already regret some of the things I said about Ezra Miller because we didn't know the full story. And to me, I want to get the full story now, especially when it's something as serious as court cases and stuff like this and the allegations made. But we're going to go into our Google Docs to tell you guys, why her career is over. So let's go into the first one, shall we? And again, this is going to be a touchy subject, so I do ask everyone to be calm, collective, nice. And if you have your own personal perspective, you guys let me know in the comments whether you agree, disagree. We're not here to talk about what you believe on the Johnny and Amber trial. We are here to exclusively talk about why Amber Heard's career is over. So even if you're a hardcore Amber Heard fan, you have to admit it. Her career's done. It's over. I don't see any way possible for her to come back. I don't. But anyways, the first thing we do have to discuss is she lied about serious topics. So we live in a world where, of course we have domestic assaults, you have domestic abuse. You have a lot of assaults, you have a lot of, we have a lot of brutal things in this world. There's murder, there's genocide, there's rape, there's all these topics. There's of course racial abuse. There's the world is bad. We all know the world's been bad. Why do you think we've had 2 world wars? Why do you think we've had so much bad in the world? And so typically when you lie about a serious topic, and remember, what happened at the beginning was Amber Heard had lied and told the world that Johnny Depp was a wife beater, claiming that Johnny Depp had abused her physically and mentally. And now we saw the court cases and we saw all the information. And while, yes, Johnny was an a-hole at times, at the end of the day, it was concluded that Johnny wasn't a wife beater. Johnny wasn't an abuser, or at least physically. The court was, of course, for defamation. But what we found out is that a lot of it was Amber Heard did do a lot of bad stuff. And Johnny Depp, we have to remember something. Johnny Depp's career was over. It was over. Pirates of the Caribbean fired him. It was done, over with, and his career was over. And so he had a fair case for defamation. He had a fair case that Amber did ruin his career. But now that things have turned, and going into this court case, Johnny almost had nothing to lose anymore, because the public was against him for years. Everything was against him. He even lost the court with another article. I believe they're called The Sun or something like that. And he already lost that. He already lost that case. So it's like everything was going against Johnny. And we also have to remember something. I always bring up serious topics on my channel. Like literally last week we were talking about the issue of racism and how people have inner racism. I've also talked about inner homophobia and all that. But one thing I feel like in society we've not talked about. And again, I've talked about assault many times on the channel. It's something devastating that happens. But one thing that I feel like something needs to be pointed out is male victims typically don't have voice. Typically, when you hear the story about a male being abused by his wife, they're kind of seen as losers. They're kind of seen as pussies. They're kind of seen as the lowest of the low, because how do you let yourself be abused by a woman? And that's a serious topic in and of itself. So there's many men who've never been able to speak out on this, because the idea of a woman abusing a man is still not normally as normalized in society. Like that idea has never been. Because in society, it's been pictured that men are the strong alphas, they're powerful, they're more intelligent, They're the top of the top in the world, while women are like, stay in the kitchen, stay there, stay, kind of just be the lower of the lower, kind of just be there for the man, because that's kind of how society has seen it. So when you hear the idea, of it's when you hear the idea of a man being abused by a woman, that is something that's never been heard of. Or it's been heard of, but it's just something no one's ever taken serious in society. It's just something that people just never take serious. Never. It's never been anything anyone cares about. And so that's a serious topic on itself. So when people found out Amber Heard lied about assaults, and especially something that's very little, this is literally a light in the sky for men who have been abused by their female companions. This is a light in the sky saying, "Hey, you're not alone. You're not alone. You don't have to deal with this anymore." And she lied about being assaulted. She lied about being in physical and mental abuse. And when people find out you lie about serious topics like this, you're done. You're over with. People don't have any respect for you. They don't have sympathy because you lied about such a serious topic. And, a lot of people don't like being lied to. It's the simple truth. And so she lied about a serious topic, and that right there already takes away everything. And not only that, but the court was public and viral. We saw a lot of stuff. We remember being told that she crapped on Johnny Depp's pillow or bed. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was a pillow or bed. I don't know. But it was on the place he sleeps in. That's bad. This was very public. Everything was public. Everything was viral. And again, they were against her. Of course, we know Amber Heard lost the case. Johnny Depp won the defamation trial. And typically in defamation trials, it's hard to prove it's hard to prove that you were defamed, that you felt repercussions of what this other person said. And also another thing, and now this one's more like this one isn't as serious as the stuff we just talked about, but she ruined a Hollywood star's career. And again, this one isn't serious. Everyone's probably reading this thinking that's not that serious. The reason why I bring this up is because in Hollywood, your job is to do the best you can, try getting the best advantages in life and society, no matter what the risk it is. And most people that go into Hollywood, they went in there hardworking, their ass sweating, maybe getting paid minimum wage for a while, or maybe not even getting paid for a while, just being an intern, and finally getting to the position you are. Even Kevin Feige at some point literally delivered coffee to his higher up bosses. Now he's like known as one of the greatest producers of all time. And in Hollywood, it's difficult. And so when you put somebody down in Hollywood, and when you put somebody down like that, it's not seen as a good thing. I'll use this example. When the Ray Fisher stuff happened, it was obvious that he wasn't going to be getting as many roles anymore. And of course he is getting. We're getting him in Rebel Moon. If the Snyderverse gets restored, obviously he's going to be in that. He's a well-known actor, and of course Zack Snyder's Justice League helped propel him to stardom, to being a star. But there are still a lot of producers who are going to look at the Ray Fisher situation and think, should I work with him? Because nobody wants somebody working for them who will bring up dirt and trash. And there are a lot of people in Hollywood who've done bad things, who have done really, really bad things. And so when you kind of bring that out into the light, even if it's something that has nothing to do with you, you now worry about the overall thing. And so since she ruined a Hollywood star's career, Johnny Depp did face, his career was done. It was over with. I think even his agent even told him, yeah, your career is done. Nobody in Hollywood wants to work with somebody who can ruin their career, who can end their career within a snap. And another thing that's similar to this, she tried to drag Warner Bros. Under the mud by saying, oh, well, I faced problems too because at Aquaman, they only gave me 10 minutes of screen time, and I was supposed to be getting a lot more. She tried to drag Warner Bros. Under the mud. What is a Disney supposed to think about this? What is a Hulu or whoever, Paramount, whoever is making these movies, what are they going to think when they saw... Because remember, Amber Heard's biggest project up until this point was Aquaman. That's not even a debate. Aquaman was her most biggest project ever. It's obviously, financially, it's obviously the most, because there's no way she's ever been in a movie that made $1 billion. And before this, even a lot of people didn't even know who Amber Heard was prior to this. And so imagine the company that gave her her big shot to fame, or at least the biggest thing she's ever had, Aquaman. You know, what are they supposed to think when she drags them under the mud? And now let's bring up the last one. This one's like an obvious one, but she's hated by the public. The court of public opinion is what really played a factor into this. So, and I know a lot of people don't want me to. Oh crap! A lot of people don't want me to bring this up, but the court of public opinion is ultimately the bigger picture. That's kind of the reason why the court case. I mean, Johnny probably does care about the money, but at the end of the day, what he mostly cares about is the people around are now looking and thinking, "Hey, I wasn't the problem. I wasn't the only problem. She was a problem, and she had lied. And the reason why my career is over is because that bitch over there, that naggy little bitch, was wrong." And now you can look at the world and think, "See, everyone, told you. I told y'all. Y'all called me a woman abuser. You called me a woman beater. And I proven to you in a full-on court case that is not the case." And he proved it. He proved it. He backed it up. He completely backed it up with almost certainty. And because of that, most people now hate Amber Heard. Because Amber Heard has caused a lot of issues. First of all, abuse. She was abusive. She was. That's fact now. And then she lied about her being abused. And look, both Johnny and Amber did terrible things in their relationship. They just weren't compatible. You know, in life, not all your relationships are going to be good. Like, you might think that this girl who you're in love with, you might think you're going to marry her. But then 2 months later, maybe you find out certain things, and then now you both hate each other. That's life. That's relationships. Relationships aren't all going to be perfect. You know, not every relationship is all sunny and roses. And I feel like most people watching this can agree with me. I believe most of you guys have been in relationships. I believe most of you guys have been in serious, committed relationships. I believe most of you guys, some of you guys maybe are married. I don't know. And I believe most of you guys understand that there are relationships that just don't work out for the best. And that was Johnny and Amber. Johnny and Amber did terrible things to each other. But at the end of the day, what has been confirmed is that Amber lied about all the things she had said. All the things she has said. Now, yes, we had that clip of Johnny slamming the kitchen doors real hard and yelling. But that wasn't mental. That wasn't physical abuse. That's not punching somebody in the face. It's not slapping. That's not treating them like shit. I mean, yeah, it can mentally destroy you. It can mentally scare you. But other than that, it wasn't actual physical abuse, which is what Amber was claiming. And that came out to be wrong. There was no proof of it, and Johnny won the case by a landslide. I would say that too. Johnny won this case by a landslide. And the court of public opinion sided with Johnny from the beginning. Because they saw everything. They saw that Amber just, you know, it was embarrassing. The world saw Amber for a fraud. So now by the public, when they see the face of Amber, they just think that woman lied about a serious allegation like abuse. Because that ain't something you joke about. That's not something you. It's not like saying, "Oh, that guy." It's like smelling a fart. You know, you could say, "Oh, that guy farted," and then kind of make a joke, and then that guy kind of blush and be like, "No, it wasn't me," and all that. Like that, nobody gives a shit about that. But this is the serious thing. This is abuse. This ain't nothing to joke about. This ain't nothing sensitive. This is quite literal abuse, and you lied about it. You lied about it. And especially at the height of the Me Too movement. And now I'm going to get into sensitive territory. I'm going to get to very sensitive territory. I believe most of the people watching this video are right now probably going to click out when I talk about this. But let's talk about a little bit of feminism. I'm going to say this straight up. I'm a feminist. I am. A lot of my close friends in my life are actually very anti-feminist. Even some women in my life are anti-feminist. And look, I don't give a shit. I'm going to be very vocal about this. I am a feminist. And I'm going to bring this up. One thing and this is probably not the most important part. Obviously, the most important part is the abuse part. But the one thing that I'm going to bring up is that Amber Heard doing this essentially is now a problem for any other woman who goes through abuse. any other women who has ever been abused, assaulted, or anything, now there's a less of a chance people are going to believe you. Because now everyone's going to point to the Amber Heard case and think, look, everyone, women can lie about abuse. Women can be abusers too. That is true. But the reason why I bring this up is because typically in society, most of the time, and look, there's one major, and again, I'll bring this up. I said this earlier. I said this from the beginning. So please, to everyone who's anti-feminist, just hear me out. And the main important thing is that this court does prove that, hey, we shouldn't just believe all women. Because while yes, I'm a feminist, I've never believed in all. Believe all women. Because no, you have to bring evidence. You have to show me why I should believe you. That at the end of the day, that's not debatable. If you're bringing a serious topic, then you have to prove to me why you hold that position, why that thing happened to you. If I tell people I won $1,000,000, I kind of have to prove it, you know? Although if I had $1,000,000, I would hide that shit. I don't give a crap. But the one important thing is that this does teach us that women can lie. This does teach us that men can be abused too by other women. This teaches us a lot. But the one thing that's going to cause a problem is that now a lot of women, because it's already hard enough for women to come out. I know a lot of us guys, we don't see it that way. We just see it, oh, a girl can lie about abuse, get away with it, and then just make their money, get a lot of social media virality, and that is true. But for the most part, that's not the case. And I'm going to show you an example. I have a female friend of mine. And 2 months ago, not 2 months ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, somewhere around there, back when I was in my edgy, like a lot of you, my subscribers know this, but I used to be into very edgy, hardcore, dark humor. Like I would make the most offensive of the most offensive jokes out there. And I remember 2 or 3 years ago, I had made a joke to one of my female friends. It was a rape joke, and 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 I'm gonna keep this person private because this is a very private thing. And this is a girl who usually we joke about everything. We would joke about genuinely everything. And I know this might get me canceled. I don't give a shit. I'm going to be honest. Back in the day when I used to be this edgy teen who just wanted to make offensive. And look, I've changed from them. That's actually something I bring up on my channel a lot. I could get easily canceled. I'm not even going to deny that. But the reason why I bring this up is because this girl, so we always joked around about everything. Everything. But this one time, when I made that rape joke, she messaged me saying, that's disgusting. Why would you? And at first I thought she was joking. She was like, that's disgusting. Why would you make that joke? And my first thought was, it's just a joke. You know, that's typically the bullshit. That's typically how we go. You know, we'll make jokes about topics that are very serious. And then at the end of the day, we just understand it's a joke at the end of the day. But she particularly felt offense. And she kept telling me how what I said is very harmful. What I said was very disgusting. And what she had explained to me is that a couple of years ago, she had been assaulted sexually. And sorry if I'm quieting down. It's just this is a serious topic, but she had told me she was sexually assaulted around the time she was 14, 15. And she got on the phone with me and called me and was telling me about her story. And by the way, this happened years ago. I'm like 20 years old. She's 22, so this happened years ago. She's telling me the story about how she got sexually assaulted, and she's telling me how, years ago I'm not gonna get into details because that's not the important part, but she kind of broke down crying, and I did ask her. I was like, why did you never say this? And she said because it was somebody close to her, somebody who she knew, and I don't recall if it was her family or something like that, but it was a grown man that they kind of look up to her and her family. The reason why she never came out is because she knew from the get-go no one was going to believe her, because that happens. Typically, that when a woman comes out with a claim like that, a lot of times the first question is, why didn't you go to the cops? Why didn't you go quickly? And she explained to me, but because at that moment, you go through this big traumatic moment that you don't stop to think about it. And then even when you stop to think about it, you think about do you even have evidence? Do you even have a case? Because once you make that case, it almost goes public. You become enemy number one within seconds. And so when she had told me the story, um, I kind of saw sexual assault as a completely different thing now. I saw it as this this whole thing I've never saw it as. And at first I was kind of like, yeah, but it's just a joke and all that. But throughout the years I learned that some humor, yes, you can make jokes, but you also have to be mindful, especially when it's someone's trauma. And when she had told me that story, I kind of learned, and I was finding like videos of women who had never been able to say that they were abused and all that. And it's a very serious topic that most men will never understand, because for the most part, when it comes to assault, whether it's spousal abuse, whether it's sexual assault, whether it's grooming, whatever, it typically happens from a man towards a woman. That's been factually proven, and it's difficult for women to come out. And my biggest problem with the whole Amber Heard stuff is that this now, anytime a woman comes out about sexual assault and something important like that, now people are going to point at the Amber Heard stuff and think, look, you're wrong because this girl was proven wrong. And there's stuff like that. Lying about rape is disgusting, and you're a piece of shit if you lie about it. But you're an even bigger piece of shit if you actually did sexually assault someone. We can't even debate that. That's not even denying. Let's not deny it. You're a bigger piece of shit if you sexually assault someone than if you lie about sexual assault. But you still, if you notice, I'm playing it both ways. And I'm sorry if I'm getting into difficult topics. In fact, there may be some people watching this thinking to themselves, hey, Isaac, this is very sensitive. Maybe you shouldn't talk about this. But you know what? I'm going to bring it up because in my channel, I'm going to tell you about serious topics. And my biggest problem with the Amber Heard stuff is that now, have this, because there's this wave of anti-feminists coming out saying, oh, women are the problem. Women are lying about rape. And that is true. But the bigger problem is rape actually happening, sexual assault happening, or any form of abuse. And that's the thing that pisses me off about Amber Heard. During the Me Too movement, when it first began, she decided, oh, I want popularity. I want clout. So let me lie about this. And you know what that causes now? That now causes many women who aren't able to speak out, because now there's going to be many men looking at this and thinking, wow, look, Amber Heard's the problem. I mean, Amber Heard showed us that women can be liars, women can be this, women can be that. And that is true. Again, I'm not saying they can't, but I'm saying the bigger problem is typically men will tend to abuse women. And that's my bigger problem with the Amber Heard stuff. That's the overall thing that I'm more fucking annoyed with. And yes, there's one good thing that comes out, and that means men who have been abused can now speak out. Men who are being abused can now speak out, and they now have that light in the sky. But now, with the women, that light is kind of flickering now. That light is flickering. It's like nobody knows if it's there. And that's my ultimate problem with the issue. And sorry if I got into something very serious, but I do have to talk about it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I was doing a live stream at the same time, so you see the phone right there. I have my good friend Picante Kevin saying Amber Heard. And then we have, let's see, Alex. Alex says, can't wait to see Amber Heard in season 2 of Squid Games. Imagine that. But yeah, I despise Amber Heard for many reasons. The main one is, of course, she lied about serious claims. She lied about a serious topic. She lied about something very serious. And she also did very bad things, like abusing Johnny Depp, and ruined his career, ruined everything in the process. But Amber Heard's career is now done, over with. The last thing she'll get is Aquaman 2, but we don't even know if she's even going to get the footage in there, because now it seems like Warner Brothers is probably thinking to themselves, why even show her? I mean, to be fair, Warner Brothers put themselves in this position because the courts, everything was happening before this movie even started filming. So really, the reality is, Warner Bros. Put themselves in this position. But yeah, that is it for everything I had to say in this video. And again, I do apologize if we went through a topic that is very serious. It's just that I have such a high emotional attachment to this kind of issue So I have to speak on it. And not only that, but I've noticed that my channel is now becoming more than just movie talk. Last week we went full on details about racism. We went through full issues of homophobia, and using this Amber Heard thing is now sexual assault and assaults overall towards women. Because again, it's historically men have abused women many times. And the Amber Heard stuff now ruins it for actual women who have been abused in the past. So that to me is the ultimate issue. I'm glad that it shines a light on men being abused, but I'm also fearful that now men are going to use this against women. By the way, and this is a straight cisgendered heterosexual man talking to you. So really, and I was born in a traditional household, so I know a lot of people call me a liberal cuck. I don't care. Y'all can suck it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and let me know in the comments what you think. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.